With the slow integration of AI into the fabric of social media, the dangers of the internet have been more glaring than ever. Suddenly, all those sci fi films that made villains out of robots and AI don't really seem that far fetched after all. And it really baffles and scares me how much it has improved ever since it came out with its due controversy in the field of art, attempting, with AI artists attempting to replace art and making it quote unquote accessible to everyone. I do remember that time period because at that time, the only ones that were speaking against AI were the artists because they were the ones being stolen from. Their jobs were being replaced, and their art was being stolen from to um, train AI, and it was just theft at its finest. And at that time, it was just the art community that were talking about this because it really anyone else didn't see a problem with it. But now that I've seen the integration of AI into a whole lot of the niches in content creation in general on YouTube and other platforms, where a lot of the content creation subgenres are being overtaken by AI and humans are being replaced. And I feel like I really should address the elephant in the room at this point. In particular, this video was triggered by a reel that I saw on Instagram, and the AI was so well done that a lot of people did not even notice that it was AI. And it made me realize how far AI has come ever since it was released. So back then, you could actually tell that it was AI, and now it's kind of getting harder to spot. So I really wanted to address these things in this video, and maybe we could learn something out of it. Um, the dangers of AI slop content. AI is everywhere, literally, from kids' content farming channels to fake AI artists and street interviews that never even freaking happened. It has really seeped in deep into our everyday content consumption. What truly shivers my timbers, though, is that it's gotten really, really, really difficult to spot now. Again, going back to the video that I mentioned earlier, triggered the motivation to make this video. I'm going to play it for you guys right now, and I want you guys to take a few seconds and spot what you guys think is giving it away as AI, as it being AI.
आओ भैया थाली आगे करो करो मैं संभाल के धन्यवाद अगला हाँ कटोरी यहाँ दे दो
भाई थोड़ा सब्जी ज्यादा डाल देना
हो जाएगा लो शुक्रिया अब आपको भी दे देता हूँ
All right, you guys can lock in your answer in the comment section if you want to, but let's go ahead and replay that. Keep your eyes on his ladle. As you can see, he pours all the curry out into the first plate, but he still manages to pour the curry more twice into the second plate. And when he's pulling back, we can see that the ladle is freaking empty. Yet it magically proceeds to fill a third plate and without having to scoop from the pot at all. And well, in the comments, the people can't really. I haven't seen anybody figure out that it's AI, and yeah, the video might not seem that serious right now, but I still wanted to address it to make a point that this is how easy it has gotten to change narrative, to switch perspectives, and push certain stereotypes and agendas against certain groups of people, and feed into the ever-growing hate against certain groups, against certain types of people, and to um stroke the fire basically between different people. And in fact, even one of the comments said, please proceed to read this. Also, watch the server's mouth not move while his lines are being said, but it moves with the crowd initially before snapping back to his lines. And the lack of realization from the people consuming the content is truly a harsh wake-up call to us. Next up, we're going to address the AI artists. And I know that this topic has been running for a very long time amidst art circles and areas where artists and art consumers reside. And it's been a hot topic of discussion. But I really wanted to lay my ideas now that I'm making this video anyways. So let's get right into this. According to me, AI really brings into question the ethics and the due accountability when it seeps into the creative world of artists and writers and every other thing alike. We all know that AI is trained off of the artwork stolen from unconsenting artists. Their art styles are abused, stolen from, and then cashed off of for just monetary profit without putting in any real efforts or creativity of their own. And calling themselves AI artists, quote unquote, is truly hilarious to me. Artists for typing in a freaking prompt. What the hell are you guys talking about? Just calling yourself artists for typing in a prompt and getting a fully rendered, fully done image by a bot? How can artists be mistaken for this, for minimal effort? And it's like thieving off of years worth of work from people that have actually worked to get where they are. That technically makes everyone an artist if y'all think about it. Like, add a tag with of artists after everyone calling themselves human, because at this point anyone can put in a prompt and generate an image and call themselves artists. And I'm going to call it out as it is. I really think it's hella delusional to call yourself artists when, if the person that you stole from didn't actually spend years establishing their art style, you would have nothing to show for your quote unquote artists title, correct? Like, you'd have nothing to piggyback out off of. You have nothing to earn money off of. That should say everything that needs to be said about this AI artists and their own quote unquote work, just completely stripping away the human element and the distinctions of individualism, right? Why would anyone even want to buy AI art? They can literally just generate it on their own. It's literally that accessible. If they wanted to own art, why would they buy it from you? They should just go ahead and generate whatever the hell they want themselves. And talking about art, I'm really pissed about platforms not taking this AI situation very seriously. Especially for art-based platforms like Pinterest or DeviantArt, I really think there should be no space for AI. It should not be allowed to exist. And because if you do let it if you do give it leeway, if you do give it a free hand, it kind of sends this message, oh, it's completely fine to steal from artists and you can cash off of it, because these platforms are not gonna bother. They're gonna give you a platform to speak on. They're gonna give you what you're looking for, so might as well just disregard the ethics of it at all. Platforms like Pinterest and DeviantArt, I think that by doing this, they're also losing their artist-based followings. And if you look at DeviantArt and Pinterest at this point, they're literally just AI artists, AI quote unquote artists at this point. I have yet to see real artists that have like real years worth of hard work to show for themselves be existing on these platforms. And I'm not gonna name names, but there are some artist platforms that have been complicit in stealing artwork from artists to train AI bots. And we're not gonna name names, but everyone knows who I'm talking about. I have absolutely no respect for AI quote unquote artists or anyone who works in the AI industry to just take over the human aspect of our our daily consumption of social media. And I absolutely do not respect any platforms that allow this behavior to continue without taking serious actions against it. I hate liars that sell products to people by using the fact that setting an example of AI artists, they usually lie that it's their own artwork because they know that nobody's gonna buy from them if it's something that is accessible to everyone. So they'll lie about it and they sell their products and are eventually busted for being AI artists. That's what I'm saying. Like if you're an AI artist, you know nobody's gonna buy from you because it's actually available to everyone. They would just put in a prompt and there you go. They've made the exact same thing that you've made. What the hell is the difference, right? What do you have to offer? Nothing. Next up, the writers. Many of the recent books in Amazon KDP have been exposed for being AI generated. Writing is a form of art, much like any other form of creative expression. Its success is dependent on majorly two things that I'm going to classify, which is the story and the individuality that makes a text stand out from many others, which is the writing style. Again, firstly, the bots are trained with the writing styles of other writers, much like the art stolen from the artists. AI books on Kindle have become a quick money grab for most people to milk the established audience for a quick buck without even an hour's worth of hard work. ChatGPT, I think, can copy someone's art style and write a whole ass book in under an hour. In under an hour. Can you imagine that? Compared to the years worth of the hard work that most artists put in a single book. Compare that, an hour's worth of AI generated books to a year's worth of a single book from a genuine writer. But unlike an art, many writing platforms have been taking this issue very seriously. Let's start with some examples, which would be Dark Hollow Academia Year 2 by Lena McDonald or Lena McDonald, Dark Obsession by Casey Crown, books by Stephen Walren. So 15 books, many nonsensical or repetitive guides, were published under the same name and later removed by Amazon. Many nonsensical books on Amazon with the titles such as When the Three Attacks or Apricot Barcode Architecture, just wild names, were surprisingly even ending up on the bestsellers list before being removed by Amazon and before being exposed for being AI. So, the most frustratingly overwhelming part about AI writers compared to AI artists is that they are harder to spot than the art. Um, these books were exposed for being AI because the prompts were left behind in the final products, or just because of the absurd titles or the content. Unlike AI art, where you can spot mistakes that are indicative of AI, such as the anatomy of the hands not matching the quality of the render, or the sudden shift in art styles, and the sudden improvement on if you look through the artist's profile, and what are you going to demand in exchange for writing? How are you going to spot the writing? And if you did spot the writing for proof that it was actually generated by AI, in art you can demand a speed paint, you can demand someone to do art live, but how are you going to do that in terms of writing? So I guess AI writers are have a bit more leeway as compared to AI artists. So, what do you guys think should be done to keep such low effort content off of platforms, not just writing platforms, but artist platforms and platforms of social media such as Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube? Um, and let me know your opinions down in the comments below, and let's move on to the next part of the video. AI in children's spaces. The insane content for kids on YouTube is also called AlphaGate content. This content consists of shocking storylines, inappropriate visuals, and never ending availability from multiple channels. There was a phase where this form of content overflowed the safe space that was the YouTube Kids. Most of these channels would use AI and the faces of kids' favorite cartoon characters to push horrifying and inappropriate content to children. Due to the child-friendly visuals, they would often fly under the YouTube's radar, and because of their publishing frequency, they were often pushed to more audiences until concerned parents stumbled into the content that their children were consuming and raised concerns towards YouTube. And after that, which YouTube established like stricter policies and pulled many of the content farming channels off its platform. I did go to YouTube Kids. I didn't do a deep delve myself, but I did try to search up a few common titles that these videos had, and apparently there was nothing. It showed absolutely nothing, and most of the For You page didn't have anything this concerning either. So I'm glad that YouTube did take precautionary steps to remove it off of child-safe platforms. However, unfortunately, the same cannot be said about YouTube Original. Um, Saturated by AI content, and these absurd videos continue to get thousands, if not millions, of views with low effort content, and it makes you wonder what the target audience is. Because if you've watched even one of those, you would know that the target audience cannot be adults that have two brain cells to themselves, and teenagers. It cannot be teenagers either, so it definitely just has to be children that do not know any better. Um, I really think that YouTube should take firmer action against these low effort farming channels and analyze what's being pushed onto its platform. The value should rest with the people or the creators that put the human element and effort into their videos instead of just using it as a quick cash grab. Such content proceeds to strip the human element of its value, and I really think effort should be rewarded where it's due to creators that actually put in time and energy but still get overshadowed by these disgusting money-hungry channels. If you wish to delve beyond the surface into this rabbit hole, I recommend checking out some of the channels that actually do great deep dives on this topic, like my personal favorite being Visual Venture. Next up, we have AI street interviews and absurd ASMR videos. The last topic we'll discuss in terms of AI content, bear with me, are the popular ASMR, mukbang, and street interviews. I won't delve too deep into the topic, but if you'd like me to, let me know. I'd love to do a video. First of all, we're starting with ASMR. Many ASMR channels have been replaced by cheap AI ASMR content, most of which crosses the boundary of realism, which I think gives it a precedence over channels otherwise run by people and not bots. It does not cost anything to run an AI ASMR channel. You do not even need equipment to record the sounds. You can just generate them with AI. Even I have to admit that some of these channels do sound pretty good, but I do not consume such content due to the questions about its ethics and disingenuity. The lack of human factor makes me not gravitate as much towards them, but here are some of the examples of what I'm talking about. Mukbangs. The reason I think mukbangs are being taken over by AI is because you do not need to expose yourself in front of the camera. You do not need equipment to record sounds or buy copious amount of food and indulge in unhealthy eating habits. There is no risk of watching someone sacrifice health for money, like we've seen with Nikocado Avocado, Jelly Bean Sweets, and Foodie Beauty being some of the examples that have been on YouTube since its beginning. Also, consumption of unrealistic things may have played some part in the popularity, such as eating lava, different types of donuts like ice donuts or steel donuts, and so much more. I do not support AI and it has never been my cup of tea. I also do not support unhealthy eating mukbangs and preferring money over your own health. And here are some of the examples that I have come across so far.
Let's try this lava candy. It looks so interesting.
But here I am eating better than half, y'all. Created from a prompt and still got more flavor than your last 3 situationships.
Street interviews. Street interviews were very popular on TikTok, and even hell, I used to interact with the content. It used to involve stopping random people on a busy public place and interact with them in front of a camera. From general trivia to exposing cheaters on camera, they had something to cater to everyone. But recently, AI has been threatening this niche as well, and it would be impossible to spot if the sound quality wasn't consistent among all of them. The most popular one has to be this granny I've seen.
What advice would you give to women today?
Block him, buy the bag, book the flight, and mind your damn business.
What really baffles me is that people don't realize it's AI, or they do realize it's AI, and they just don't care that they're not even interacting with a real person. It's truly horrifying how much AI has integrated itself into our content and how much it has improved over the span of like just a short while. Maybe in the future we won't even be able to spot what's AI and not anymore. I see a future where people can, like, one person can make a whole ass movie themselves, or one person can run a whole ass company themselves. I mean, we've already reached a point where a person can make a whole app without needing programmers or anything. It just all it requires is an idea and an AI tool. Sacrificing the human element for saving money. But my question would be, would everything have as much value as it does now if it was accessible to a majority of the public? It will be something as mundane as breathing, and it will eventually do lose its value because if everyone can do it, it doesn't make it unique. It doesn't make it desirable. Everyone will be self-employed and there will be no jobs. A one-man company and unemployment will be worse. It might not seem so serious right now, but thinking of the future truly scares me. The possibilities are horrifying. We really shouldn't normalize integration of AI into every aspect of our lives, but that's my opinion. Let me know yours down below. Please keep the comment section respectful and encourage conversation respectfully. And let me know if I should make a part 2 because there's still a lot of AI content that I have not talked about and I would really love to. And with those thoughts, I bid you farewell. Take care of yourselves until we meet again for another discussion.